All right, greetings. Welcome back to Black Bear News, where everything is connected and all the viewers are smarter than the average bear. Just giving you an old school BBN upload, doing it OBS style. I'm going to be elsewhere today at 11 a.m., so I wanted to give you all a recording today, and I'll be back for a live stream tomorrow at 11 a.m. I don't know if I thanked someone who gave me 5 coffees. Maybe I did last week. Thanks for the coffee. Let's get into some news stories today. This is not the one I wanted to start with, so we'll go back. The U.S. is sending a missile defense system because Israel needs another missile defense system, apparently. As if they don't have so many, the Iron Dome included in all their array of missile defense systems, because they're feeling so insecure. They need some security. The U.S. is sending this missile defense system to aid in their defense against Iran, because everybody's assuming that there's going to be more conflict between Israel and Iran, and they seem to be just really dead set on ramping this whole thing up. They've been screaming from the rooftops that something's about to pop off with Iran. This is much like before the Ukraine war started. There were just warnings and warnings of an imminent conflict, and then they got it, and they were like, well, maybe not the people, but the military-industrial complex was like, yay, more money for us. And they seem dead set on something popping off with Iran. Even former president, possibly future President Trump is, out there, screaming that he's going to, first chance he gets, he's going to bomb Iran to smithereens. This is great news for the people of the planet and for the people of the area and people of the U.S. This, impending future conflict that they seem dead set on making happen. And meanwhile, Israel is bombing people sleeping in tents, because when you have a right to defend yourself, I guess that's what you get to do, is bomb people while they're sleeping in tents, people trying to find safety and refuge. And this is your tax dollars at work, so rejoice. It's all going to the best possible place. If you remember the video that I played you of Peter Ducey asking Karine Jean-Pierre about Congress having to come back to vote on aid for hurricane victims, but not having to vote for aid going to Ukraine or Israel, and the video I played showed her walking out. But there's a well, you want to watch her answer? I guess we can watch it, or can we? Maybe we can't watch it. I don't know. Thought I had it here. Thought I had it. I guess I do have it here. Let's watch her pithy answer.
News alert, let's head to the White House. Peter.
So much noise. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear this. That's the problem. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear this. Well, we won't watch it. I'll just paraphrase. She just said that, they're giving all the aid that they can, and this is what Congress does. They come back to vote on aid, and that's their job, and they just need to do their job. And his question was misinformation. And that's That's this the blanket term for anything that the people in charge don't want. They don't want to hear any kind of back talk. So that's the. If you got questions for us, if you got skepticism of anything that we're doing, we're gonna slap a misinformation label on it and go about our merry way. But beware, because pretty soon you probably won't be able to say anything if the bots and the algorithms deem whatever it is that you have to say or what you're thinking or feeling as misinformation. Well, then I guess you just won't be able to say it. It's too bad they don't have an algorithm to shut those reporters up in the White House press room. We need to bot this out before they even get to the question. I'm sure if they could do that, they would. Speaking of hurricane relief, widespread fuel shortages being reported in the area, and this is not helping with relief efforts. I'm seeing people complaining, people on my timeline in Florida saying there's no fuel, or saying there's, people are really struggling. Of course, we all know that oil and gas are the underpinnings of pretty much every single thing we do in the civilization. So it is the number one most important resource, and if you don't have it, then pretty much everything grinds to a halt. But this is a big problem. DeSantis said they had opened 3 stations where people could get 10 gallons of free gas, so hopefully that's helping. But this is from yesterday, so it is an ongoing problem. It's been, I don't know how many days since the hurricane hit, 5 days, 6 days. People are really struggling to get back to normal there. And speaking of which, this is on the renewables not so much front, but Hurricane Milton. Part of the aftermath was that this solar farm was absolutely obliterated. Which, the anti-renewable crowd, whoever you want to call those people, I don't know. The anti-renewable crowd seems to include people that know about climate change and people that don't want to admit that climate change is a thing. So nobody seems to like renewables these days, and for good reason. Utility-scale solar causes massive harm to landscapes, including 50% reductions in soil organic matter. When the panels break, the soil is polluted forever, and runoff spreads it. And we see this time and time again with whenever there's an extreme weather event. It seems to take out the renewable energy sources pretty quickly. They are not very resilient. And resiliency seems to be the buzzword when people talk about climate change. We're going to, what we need is resiliency in the face of climate change. But it doesn't seem that the renewable energy sources are all that resilient. Windmills getting knocked down in strong winds and or tornadoes. Solar panels being obliterated. And on and on. Speaking of carbon sequestration, this is a big story out of The Guardian. See, where did it go? No. I know I had it here somewhere. I'm sure that I did. Maybe not. There was a big story out of The Guardian that in 2023, that tree and land carbon uptake was virtually zero. Net zero carbon uptake. And that is a huge claim. Let's see. No, I just had it. Here we go. Seems concerning. Tree and land absorbed almost no CO2 last year. Is nature's carbon sink failing? This is, I mean, this, if true, this is gigantic. This is a gigantic, like, tipping point here. Although I think, you know, in years past, they've been claiming that, you know, the Amazon or certain forests or certain, you know, or the ocean or certain areas were failing as carbon sinks. And there have been some claims in the past years that the carbon sink was reversing. What was a carbon sink is becoming a carbon emitter. We'll look at this very quickly. In 2023, the hottest year ever recorded, preliminary findings by an international team of researchers show the amount of carbon absorbed by land has temporarily collapsed. The final result was that forest, plants, and soil as a net category absorbed almost no carbon. That is, it's very frightening indeed, if true. And I don't doubt that they're making it up. I would like to do some more investigation from some other sources on what, you know, on this claim, because it's a pretty hardy claim, right? All right. Thanks for your attention. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to contribute to the show, you know how to do it. It's in the description box. To those that do contribute to the show, you know who you are, and I thank you. I will be back tomorrow. See you again tomorrow at 11 a.m. live streaming. Thanks again. Until next time. Peace.